Welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a quick breakdown of our tanks for ARAM. I'm going to just do a quick little tier list. We'll be ranking our characters alphabetically and going through them. For our tiers, we have S rank through D rank. S rank being heroes that will do great in most of your games, really solid tanks that can hold their own and not as dependent on what team comp you have with them. A rank, we have heroes that are going to perform really well in a lot of your games, maybe more a little dependent on your team composition. For our B rank, these are heroes that generally will be fine, maybe not the strongest. In our B rank, these are tanks that definitely are more dependent on your team composition to really make them shine. For our C rank, these are heroes that will only do well in some circumstances, unlike our B rank that are going to be good most but not all circumstances. These ones are strongly dependent on your team comp and how well you can control them. These are not the strongest picks, and I personally would avoid these tanks. And finally, that leads us to our D tier. These are heroes that are going to do poorly in almost all circumstances. These are tanks that I wouldn't touch personally. So first up, since we're going to go alphabetically through our heroes, is M.o.b.a.
For the Frozen Throne!
M.o.b.a is a solid tank. He has good mobility, some good stuns. However, in my opinion, he's better mid to late game. So for that, I'm going to put him in the A rank tier. I think he's a solid pick for a tank and holds very strongly. Next up, we have Arthas.
Frostmourne hungers.
Arthas, for me, is one of those tanks that I could see someone maybe arguing B rank, C rank, or D rank for. I personally would throw him at the C rank. He could be a B rank with the right team behind him and a good player who knows how to work him really well. However, if you do not have a good team to back up your Arthas, he would instantly be D. However, I think if you know how to play Arthas, you can do okay with him in some circumstances, so that's why I'm going to put him solidly in the C rank. Up next, we have Blaze. Blaze is an interesting tank with his ability to slow the enemy in his oil and other things like that is really nice. However, personally, I feel Blaze to really shine also needs a decent team behind him. That's why I put him at the B rank. Diablo.
Tremble before me.
Diablo is another great tank. Diablo is a tough one for me. I believe he guaranteed is an A rank. However, with someone who knows how to properly use Diablo, Diablo can really bully the enemy team, and I believe he is a strong pick no matter what team makeup you have. I believe a good Diablo is just a bonus for your team. For that reason, I'm going to bump Diablo up to S tier. ETC.
I bring the mega death.
I'm going to go on record here and say that ETC is the worst tank pick you can do for ARAM.
Wow.
It is so rare to see a good ETC, and even then, I wouldn't personally put ETC higher than C rank. But since this is my ranking, I'm going to throw him down to the D rank tier. Would avoid him if at all possible, and just play someone else. Johanna.
The crusade calls.
Johanna is one of my most favorite tank to play. She is very strong, guaranteed A rank. Johanna has great healing, great shielding, good mobility. She can really move the characters around on the enemy team, and she has a good level 10 ability that can even let her pick an enemy and yank them back into your friendly lines for a good pick. For these reasons, Johanna is clearly S rank, if not the best tank in my opinion.
Hero of the storm!
Garrosh, or lovingly known as Gary. Gary is solid. He would be my second favorite tank. His ability to grab an enemy and throw them where you want them, usually back into your friendly team is great for taking those picks and taking out a target that your team wants. However, because his main ability is throwing or tossing the enemy around, sometimes it's not the greatest pick for tank. Being able to throw someone into your backlines is nice, but not so nice when that backline is full of squishy teammates who you just threw someone back there for him to murder your backline. Because of that, he's a little more situational. You definitely want good team makeup around Garrosh. For that reason, though I want to put him at an A tier, I believe that the circumstances for him to really shine sometimes are too situational, especially in ARAM, where you don't have control of your team makeup as much. For that reason, for ARAM, I'm going to throw him down in the B tier. Sorry, Gary. For our next character, we have Mal'Ganis.
I must feed.
Mal'Ganis is a pretty fun tank to play once you figure him out. His ability to sleep the enemy is very strong and can really lead to some very fun and cool moments to happen for your team. He is a little bit difficult to play sometimes, and with a poor team makeup, he can feel almost impossible. For these reasons, I'm going to throw him in B. He is a pretty solid tank. He can be fun, a little tough to understand, but I would pick one of the other tanks if I had a choice. Following Mal'Ganis, we have Mei.
Our world is worth fighting for.
Mei is an interesting character with her freeze abilities, a little bit more skill shot, and time-wise, you definitely need to be good at your timing to really make Mei shine. For these reasons, I'm going to put her down into the B tier as well. A solid tank, but a little bit more situational than some of the others. Up next, we have Muradin.
Ready for action!
Muradin was actually my first tank ever to play in Heroes of the Storm. He is definitely a solid tank. Once you figure out how to use him and how to work with your team, he is a very strong pick. With his survivability, his skills, his healing once you step away from combat to get those heals up is very nice, especially in ARAM. I believe those few pieces right there really bump him up and keep him out of the B tier and allow him to be an A tier tank. Stitches.
Stitches want to play.
Stitches is an awesome tank, solidly an A tier tank. Stitches has some fun abilities that can really control the battlefield. If you can nail his skill pulls, grabbing the enemy from a distance and pulling them to your team for a quick and easy pick, not to mention his level 10 abilities, which are both wonderful picks to take. I believe Stitches is another S tier tank. Tyrell?
Reckoning is at hand.
Tyrell is a bit of a tough one. He is a solid tank with a good team around him. However, personally, I don't find him as strong as the tanks I have in A or S. He's also a bit more situational. I believe he needs a good team to help him shine. He does have his abilities that help speed up your team. However, I feel that his shielding bubble and his peel is a bit weaker than I would like it to be. For these reasons, he's going into the B tier. Next, we have Varian.
We will forge a great destiny.
Varian, though a bruiser, has skills that you can take that help him fill the tank role wonderfully. Varian, with his taunt ability, is very strong when properly implemented. For these reasons, Varian is an A tier for me, possibly an S in the right hands. So now we've gone through the main tanks. There is an honorable mention. Zarya.
Zarya, ready for duty.
Zarya, though a support character, Zarya can fill the tank role if you have a good healer to back her up. However, because of that, I cannot give her higher than C, though if you have no tanks available and you know how to play Zarya, Zarya is a wonderful pick to fill that tank role. Just know that you'll need your team to help support you, but still a wonderful pick to take. And there we have it. There's my ARAM tank list. Let me know where you agree, disagree down in the comments, and thank you for watching.
The crusade calls, hero. Ready yourself.